It's days like these that remind me that I have the world's best job. Oh, what a great little car. I am Nathan, man with manly car. 2022 Honda Civic SI. You guys like that? This is the mid-level performer in Honda's lineup because eventually, very soon actually, they're going to have a Civic Type R, which is considerably faster, but we're not talking about that today. We're going to talk about this, and you're going to get driving impressions. Normally, we wait to tell you the price at the very end. We do know basically that this car does start at $27,300. What I do have on here that some of you guys might be interested in is the fact that it is built in North America, specifically at the Alliston, Ontario, Canadian plant. So, let's talk about the most important feature, I believe, in this vehicle. One that has been slightly detuned, but at the same time tuned up. And that is, of course, the engine.
We love a sunny day on the mountain, especially with some fresh snow, but both the sun and the cold will dry out your skin on a daily basis. Caldera Labs tackles the problem with high-performance skincare products that use nature's purest ingredients, pharmaceutical-grade science, and sustainable business practices. Caldera Labs has a 3-part skincare regimen to improve aging, tired-looking skin. In the morning, you use the Clean Slate Cleanser, followed by the base layer. At night, reapply the Clean Slate and follow it with the Good Serum. The regimen is simple and clinically proven to make your skin look and feel better. Try it for 60 days. If you're not a fan, you get a 100% refund, no questions asked. To start your journey to healthier skin, visit calderalab.com and use the code TFLCAR for 30% off. So click the link below or go to calderalab.com/TFLCAR. That's their biggest discount of the year and the same as Black Friday.
Would you believe a Honda Civic Si can get up to 37 miles per gallon on the highway? That's really impressive. So, what we're looking at here is a 200 horsepower, 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that puts out 192 pound-feet of torque. This only comes connected to a 6-speed manual transmission, one that has been redone. So the throws are shorter, it's a little bit more exacting, and they made it feel a little bit more bolt action-like. I know that Mazda is really good with that, and Audi used to be good with that. Honda, believe it or not, is one of the biggest purveyors of vehicles equipped with manual transmissions as options. But there's no option here. 3 pedals, that's the way it goes. By the way, for those of you who don't know what the 3rd pedal is, it's the clutch. And the downside, of course, is that you're losing around 5 horsepower from the old one. That's the way it goes. Let's talk about design, because a lot of it can be seen up front, and that's a lot of this black. The way they designed this whole section here is actually different than the regular 4-door. This whole slope, the whole angle, everything about it has been changed for aerodynamics. It doesn't really look that different, but you know what does? These wheels, this matte black finish, 18-inch wheel. Now, this has Goodyear rubber, however, and these are summer tires. You can get these tires for $200 more. They come standard with all-season tires. I don't think you get both sets. You know what I mean? You get one or the other. So for $200 more, you get the tire that will work really good here in Southern California, not so great in Colorado. Let's work our way to the back. They did add a subtle spoiler. I think it looks just fine. Still on the fence about front-wheel drive cars and spoilers, especially when they go crazy, but they say it helps with, keeping everything planted at high speeds. So, speaking of high speeds, there's one thing about this vehicle that I truly, truly love, and that's down here. It's the exhaust. Twin exhaust, proper exhaust. This actual exhaust. It's not a port. It's not a fake port like, oh, I don't know, everything German. Real exhaust hanging out there, and it sounds pretty good. Bear in mind, when you're inside, they did augment the sound a little bit, but it's not crazy like some other automakers, Ford. So you get a nice sound that complements the exhaust, generated by the exhaust basically, but still it's not 100% just the exhaust. Now on a road like this, where, well, let me put it to you this way. You shouldn't be going really, really fast, and more importantly, it keeps you in check, because if you screw up, you're gonna fly off and die, and That's expensive. So this car does a lot of things to prevent that. For one, it has amazing grip. Really, really, really good grip. Another thing it has is excellent steering. Now, I know it's nowadays pretty much artificial, but the weight, I like a heavy feel, and it's a heavy feel. It's perfect. Right up there with BMW and some of those other guys. Really, really good. A couple things you might be curious about. First of all, manual transmission. Snick, snick. Snick, snick. Snick, snick. Yes, it does that. They made the throws shorter, which is great. Here goes second gear. You hear that? I didn't do that. Car did that. Rev matching, baby. And it does it really well. It's basically right off the Civic Type R, and it's the same idea. And because I'm clumsy and not great with having the ability to properly heel and tow, for those of you who know what that is, this does it for you. God, this thing sticks like glue. Oh, I love it. Ooh, Nathan, happy. Oh, what a great feel. Brakes are tremendous. I think, even though I'm a little discouraged about the way it looks, the way it drives is definitely better. It's days like these that remind me that I have the world's best job. Oh, what a great little car. We're lucky enough to get the 10th generation, which I'm going to take for a ride to see how much different the new one is from this one. All right, see those? Those are the brand new ones. It's the 11th generation you were just looking at. This is the 10th. And I proclaimed in the past that this was one of my favorite driving cars out there. Right up there with like a Miata, but more comfortable because, well, I fit. This is a very different car than the one that now replaces it. So, steering feel, different. The other one has a heavier, the new one I should say, has a heavier feel. The shift lever, I'm actually having to get reacquainted with this because the throws are longer and they're not quite as precise as the new one. So definitely an improvement with the new one. These throws are much longer and not quite as crisp as the new one. That's not a bad thing per se if you like this one, but it is definitely an improvement. And another thing I noticed is that this one rides softer. So the new one does feel a little bit more sporty, a little bit tighter, and at the same time a little bit more responsive. Those are all positive things for this new model. It's kind of funny, in Colorado we don't have as many crows. There's like a million of them flying around, probably circling me, waiting for me to become roadkill. But the good news is this car handles good enough to where I managed to avoid that. Is this a good successor to the Honda Civic Si from the previous generation? Yeah, in a bit. It's noticeably better with performance. The sound is quite good, even though some of it is augmented, and it's still a reasonable price. I mean, you can get one of these for just over $27 before you add stuff to it. But there's a little bit of a wish list. I wish it looked a little bit different from the regular one. Other than the wheels, it's really hard to tell the difference between a regular four-door and this. And then on top of that, I wish the interior was a little bit higher end. Bottom line, the Honda Civic Si is still an absolute kick-ass car for its class. It's still something you can drive every single day. It still gets pretty damn good economy. And come on, guys, it's got a proper manual transmission and a really good one at that. So yeah, thumbs up. For the Fast Lane Car, this is Nathan. I'll see you next time.